It's week 2 of making a manga. And as you can see from last week, we had, I think, maybe 5 or 6 boards. I've got about double now. So last time, what we sort of had left off on, we'd done like the story plan, written about some characters, and worked out some villains. And basically, this week I worked on sort of writing some synopsises. I don't know what the plural of synopsis is. Someone who knows etymology, please tell me. But so basically, how it varies from a pitch is your pitch is for your publishers and stuff. The synopsis is what would go on like Manga Plus, Webtoon, wherever you're publishing. That would be this. So like I, copied some from different similar stories and then wrote out. I don't know how obvious it is, but the ones that I wrote were in like this red color. And then like the other stuff that I copy and pasted, for examples. Yeah. And then I have put it in a document here. So I've written 6 so far. I will revise this before publishing, once I've actually got the chapter written. But yeah, I am actually ahead of schedule, which is good. Then we did a lot of work on world building, figuring out how the vampires actually work. Because there are basic rules of how vampires work, but these, want to get your details written down as to what works. I actually did find this little thing about the basic rules from, like, Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is the basis, I guess, for modern vampires. And just some things to do with, how the society structures and stuff like that. And, yeah, looking at, like, references of different relevant series. I also watched Madoka Magica during this week, which was depressing, but I mean, it's a pretty popular magical girl series. So, and I have started I forget the name of it. It's Cute High Earth Defense Club. It's this one. It's kind of like a parody series where they're magical guys, and like instead of a cute cat, they're like got a magical wombat. It's kind of my kind of stupid humor. I needed a palette cleanse after the depression of Madoka Magica. And then we did some work on brainstorming the story name. This is actually a script I wrote for a video that I haven't released. So yeah, I was able to go, how effective is this process? So like I started with like brainstorming, I guess, different relevant words, having like a look at, similar stories that are like in my genre. So like looking at vampire stories as well as magical girls. I also discovered that there is a webtoon called Vampire Magica, which sounds kind of similar, where it's like a vampire magical boy. So I am planning to read that, just to see how original my idea is, and also I'm just kind of curious, and it's good to know series that are kind of similar. Yeah. Part of this, I did also have I made like my design, and that design process did help come up with the name, because I had a couple that I was working on and, working through them. It took me like an hour to get to this design. I will at the end put in like a 1-minute time lapse of it, but yeah, I think it was like 51 minutes was how long it took, because I screen recorded my process as I was doing it. What else did we... Oh, this was my big one. So this is working on how my, like, the magical boys side of things works. So, like, coming up with, powers. I've only come up with a couple of them. I still haven't finalized them all, but I came up with, like, what their weapons are. I got some references for what their outfits will look like. And then, like, they're gonna have transformations with flowers. So they all have a different flower that'll, like, drain down when they, transform. And yeah, just coming up with things to do with, like, the magic system, so, like, referencing a whole heap of different things. I found these cool images on Pinterest, except I don't know if I could draw these cool glowy things, but they're still pretty to look at. I ended up looking at things like D&D spells. I found this cool one called, let's zoom in. It's called Eye Bite, which I kind of want one of them to have a power like this. But yeah, it was just a wacky spell that I was like, this sounds funny. What does this do? And I was like, oh, that's kind of messed up. Yeah, some images about like how to make magical girls, and I assigned them all a color, which I think ended up being pretty similar, if not the same as the colors that I'd already just assigned them based, like, when I was working on their characters, just to color code them. So that's kind of funny that they ended up pretty similar. The only ones I'm thinking maybe have switched. Wait, I can check. What am I doing? I have this information. I'm thinking maybe Ricky and... Oh no, other dude. Okay, no, they didn't switch. I thought maybe that they had. So, and then we had some... Which ones have a and then, like, today I was kind of like, so the bakery names, so their bakery's called A Bit Fruity Bakehouse, but I had all sorts of ones. One that I nearly went with was Bohemian Rhapsody, but I was kind of worried that Bohemian might be a bit hard to read. But yeah, that was, I still wanted to share that because I thought that was kind of funny. And then basically what we're up to is we're going to be working on character designs next week. Well, this week, I guess. So the latest thing I've done is gotten some references for their images. I have also created Pinterest boards for all of them, but yeah, I put some of my main images all together. Also, try and get an idea of what they look like as a group. So, getting their sort of vibes. I did also consider them having maybe like second colors, because these colors are like their magical boy stuff, but they're gonna have like hair colors and things. But I guess I'll play the colors by ear. But yeah, thanks for watching, and enjoy the little time lapse that should be playing very soon.